About the enemy. You hold the woodland flute you received from the good doctor in Thriston. Doot-doot-doot-doodly, doot-doot-doot-doo. You blow a handful of pleasant enough note, you soon become aware of accompanying percussion, which reveals itself to be a series of impeccably... A young woman appears before you. That was absolutely dreadful, she whinges, her jaunty gait betraying her enjoyment. She calls herself Ridis and declares herself a woodlander, resident of the bewildering wood. By sheer coincidence, the flute on which you played those notes was one designed to call the woodland people to your side. Stunned by your good fortune, you ask Ridis to lead you eastward out of the forest. What luck! She agrees far more readily than you ever anticipated. But, she continues, extending her hand, you'll have to hand over the woodland flute first. That'll cost you 1,000 gold pieces, you say smugly. Ugh, it's always about money with you travelers, she snorts derisively. Her face contorts in disgust. She reaches into her cloak. Hey, what about my money? You stammer. Before you can finish your thought, Mar's tongue whips across your hand, snatching the fruit and sliding it into his gullet. Ridis gasps. How could you let him do that? Just one of those fruits sells for 10,000 gold pieces, she shouts. So you can pay me back for the fruit your little friend stole, or you can hand over that flute, she says, pressing her case. I think you've lost this one, Melanie says, snickering. You look down at Mar, who seems quite pleased with himself. I suppose I have, you sigh in resignation. You begrudgingly hand the woodland flute to Riddis. Riddis plucks the woodland flute out of your hands with glee and begins playing it as she skips away. Well, playing is a generous term. It sounds as though she may as well be murdered. Riddis makes it clear that the fastest way out of the woods is through woodland, where she lives. It's that-a-way, Riddis says gleefully, pointing past the stela before you. Welcome to Woodland, Riddis says, gesturing out over the village. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm quite busy for the rest of the day, so you'll have to wait till tomorrow to leave the forest, she says, and makes her way home. Welcome to the Forest Oasis, the man greets you warmly. Been a while since we've had any outsiders, the innkeeper says, beckoning the party inside. It turns out this inn is simply a place where the poor, lost souls trapped in the bewildering wood may recover. You may stay as long as you like, free of charge. The wooden dining table practically groans under the weight of the platters upon it, all brimming with meats and vegetables from the bewildering wood. I've certainly earned this, you say to yourself, as you slide into your seat at the table, positively drooling over the feast before you. Melanie takes no note of your boorish behavior, uttering a small prayer of thanksgiving before reaching for a plate of vegetables. Mar sits, eyes fixed on the food upon the table, statuesque in his stillness. What a good boy. Mar clears the entire table in a matter of seconds, even emptying the water barrel in a single gulp. He lets out a self-satisfied burp that sends a small jet of just-drank water arcing out onto the floor. The sun sinks low, and the day draws to a close. A scream pierces the silence. Fire! You leap out of bed, adrenaline. The others follow suit, and before long you've burst through the front door and into the street. Riddis's house is ablaze, a nearby villager screams. Douse the flames with water, shouts the man. Water from the well. My mother is still inside, Riddis shrieks, darting past you to fetch water from the well south of the village. Riddis is gathering water in an attempt to fight the blaze all on her own. You toss a nearby bucket into the well and haul it up by the rope. Rather, you attempt to, But thanks to Mar robbing you of a meal, your strength fails you. Mar's eyes light up. He scrambles over the edge of the well and sucks the well dry in an instant. He pokes at his swollen belly and gestures toward Ridis's house, as if to say, "Get me back there, quick." Quickly, put it out. You have to put it out, Ridis screams at Mar. Mar douses the house with the water he sucked up from the well. The fire is reduced to mere embers, and all is well. Or so you think. Something darts out from behind the house and attacks. Rout the enemy. Nice work. Nice work. The fiery beast dispatched, you return to putting out the last of the blaze with Mar's help. Ridis's mother, now safe, tells you the creature came out of nowhere and set the house aflame. What would bring a creature of fire to a place like this, you wonder? Light breaks on a new day, and the commotion of the fire feels but a nightmare. You lead your party to Ridis's house to ask for safe passage out of the bewildering wood. Though spared from complete collapse, Ridis's home has been thoroughly scorched. Ridis sits alone in one of its rooms, the air thick with the smell of char. There shouldn't be any fire creatures for miles, she grumbles. She says the monster appeared while she was playing the woodland flute last night. As to why any monsters, let alone fire monsters, appeared, well... Despite the circumstances, you ask Ridis to lead you out of the bewildering wood as promised. I did promise that, didn't I? She says wearily, rising from her seat. The poor girl is clearly still in shock. Why do you want to venture out beyond the bewildering wood anyway? She inquires, as she gathers this and that in preparation to leave. We are in search of the dragon, you say valiantly, adding, the reward will be significant should we defeat him. Honesty is the best policy. Sounds like a real risky way to make a living, she replies flatly, feigning interest. A group of Ivory Order people came through here just the other day, she explains. You connect the dots with malice. Those three, you seethe. At last, Ridis is ready to depart for the edge of the bewildering wood. Ridis's mother tells you she was once deceived by a crooked merchant and plunged into debt. Ridis has been working to repay the debt ever since her mother took ill. You lightly press your thumb and forefinger to the corner of each eye, a mixture of sadness and anger swirling within you. Ridis's mother is in no small amount of pain. The item you've proffered has no effect on her illness, but I appreciate the thought all the same. Ridis's mother hands you mysterious card 3 as a token of her gratitude. You didn't hear it from me, but the cause of the fire was, she whispers baseless gossip in your ear. Apparently she's heard rumors of the dragon destroying another town somewhere. The girl heaves a sigh of relief after learning the fire wasn't the dragon's doing. This road takes you to the east side of the bewildering wood, but you'd be hard-pressed to find your way without a woodlander's help, the guard warned. Upon seeing that Ridis is with you, he steps aside and lets you through. The eastern portion of the woods certainly does not want for thick, soupy fog. You did great. You turn away, ready to lead the party deeper into the bewildering wood. Wait just a moment, you lot, calls the voice of an older man from somewhere behind you. Riddis appears to be familiar with him. She calls him Mr. O. Here you are, young lady, he says, handing her a slip of paper. Oh dear. Further, Mr. O explains, Riddis did not have a fire insurance policy at the time of the conflagration, and so she shall have to pay in full. I'll thank you kindly to pay by the end of the month. Bye now, Mr. O says, receding from view as he returns to the forest. Hee. Riddis lets out a bemused chuckle, her demeanor remarkably calm for what has just transpired. She pulls the woodland flute from her cloak and begins softly playing. Riddis's ear-splitting performance, shall we say, draws monsters out from behind the trees. Within moments, they are nearly upon you. That's odd. I must have made a mistake, Riddis says, burying her face in her old book once more. She opens the book to a particular page and thrusts it in your face. You can't tell anyone in the village I let you see this. It's a page of sheet music with a note scrawled beside it that reads, "Play this lucky tune to reverse your financial fortunes and make money woes a thing of the past." No matter how many times I played this last night, our debt never went down, she fumes, incensed. You inspect the page a bit more carefully. Off in a corner, in letters so small as to be illegible, another message reads, "May summon monsters if played incorrectly." You finally see that so long as Ridis holds the flute, this is nothing more than a monster conjuring melody. You snatch the woodland flute from her hands. "You have lost your flute-playing privileges," you inform her. "But I'll never escape from this mountain of debt without it," she cries, clearly still believing in the melody of fortune. Melanie quietly opines that while Ridis is many things, bright is not one of them. Nice work. Good work. Imitate Mars' mule, but the woman just tilts her head to the side in confusion. You pity the poor soul for not comprehending the sheer cuteness of your dear companion. In the end, you gain nothing from the exchange and leave the woman to her song. "Here," Ridis chirps, pushing overgrown boughs and shrubs aside. As she does, a hidden path out of the bewildering wood comes into view. At last, you are free of the bewildering wood. Praise the power of the woodlanders, you squeal in admiration of Ridis. She giggles bashfully. "You've certainly kept your promise," you say. "Thank you for showing us the way." "I was hoping I could join you on your quest to defeat the dragon," Ridis suddenly blurts out. "No, I won't dilute my shares of the riches any further. No more additions to the party, you bark. Have you no heart? Are you just going to leave a young helpless girl like me to drown in an ocean of debt and deal with that crusty old man? Riddis fires back relentlessly. I want to go. No. So goes the endless chorus of your thoroughly unproductive argument. Melanie calmly reminds you that the party in its current form stands little chance of defeating the dragon. See, you need me, Riddis says, sensing an opportunity. Your well-reasoned argument of no thwarted, you nod your head in resignation and welcome Riddis to the party.